The Sand County Foundation, in partnership with the Colorado Cattlemen's Association, the Colorado Cattlemen's Agricultural Land Trust, Kana Oil and Gas USA Inc., and Peabody Energy, is proud to present its 2011 Leopold Conservation Award in Colorado to a family who is actively committed to land stewardship and who works ceaselessly to paint beautiful landscapes across our nation. The sponsors for this year's award include the Lind and Harry Bradley Foundation, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and the Nature Conservancy. This award is presented on an annual basis in 8 states, and this year's Colorado recipient is the McEndree family. The McEndrees operate over 14,000 acres of ranch land in southeastern Colorado. They are a 4th-generation ranching family, and today, siblings Joanne, Kay, Steve, and Kathy run the operation.
The things that make this work is our communication, and I feel like all 4 of us trust each other to, make the decisions that will affect our livelihood with the ranch. And like I said, we do communicate.
We have a business meeting once a year at least, sometimes 2 or 3 times a year. My little sister's the accountant. She does taxes for a living, so she takes care of that. And Kay would be the president of the corporation, and Joanna's the secretary. We make joint decisions on fences and water lines and stuff.
The McEndree land stewardship ethic and love of the land began with their great-grandfather, who homesteaded in the area in the early 1900s. Today's property includes that homestead, plus those of their grandfather and numerous great-aunts and uncles. The McEndrees come from resilient stock. Within the past 10 years, Mother Nature has thrown numerous curveballs, creating some really harsh conditions.
In 2002 was when we were in worse shape. We sold off 1/3 of the cows, and we went in. That's when we really went into heavy rotation. Was that year. We were moving just every few days, trying to keep the cows in decent shape that we kept, giving the ground a chance to rejuvenate then. And we were down on numbers for 2 or 3 years until we could get some moisture back. And we still haven't had a good, decent year since then either. We run about 400 mother cows right now. We sold about 80 head last fall and didn't replace them with the way the weather's been. And until the weather changes, we won't.
The McEndrees are fighters, and they are the epitome of the phrase, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Going through the challenge of the dry land and everything did put us to work and make us learn what we needed to do to improve the soil and give us more forage to graze. It's dry. It's all there is to say about it. It's so dry that it's been 10 years since we had good moisture, and we've made a lot of improvements in the land in that 10 years, but we're overdue for a drain that we're going to be selling the cows pretty quick, probably. I don't know what I do if we sell the cows. We'll survive for a while without anything, and then hopefully we'll get moisture and bring cattle back in, either buy some back or take some in on pasture. So,
despite all the things the McEndrees cannot control, they remain steadfast in their conservation ethic, which is one of the things they can control.
The Dave Pratt school I went to, we learned it takes 500 pounds of water to raise 200 pounds of feed. Well, when you evaporate more water than you get out of the sky, you need to take care of every inch of rain you can get. In 2001, when it turns so dry, and we'd had a little rain, and I was gone for a week, and there was a patch of western wheat 15, 20 foot across. Everything around it was dry. The western wheat was still moist. At that point, I thought, you dummy, you need to be looking at what you're seeing there. and start working on this. So since then we've added more miles of water line, more tanks. We've went to high tensile fences, broke the pastures up more. This pasture we're in was 7,000 acres 15 years ago. It's about 2 sections now. And then we've been rotating the cows, trying to be on each piece of ground one time every 13 months, giving it all a rest, clear through a full rotation of the year. So.
Other methods the McEndrees have incorporated onto their land within the past 15 years include decreasing their average pasture size from 3,000 acres to 750, installing 25 miles of water line, installing 17.5 miles of wildlife-friendly permanent fencing. They've used bindweed mite for biological control. They've maintained 24 ponds for flood control, wildlife habitat, and livestock usage. They've also installed 34 ladders in tanks for wildlife escape, with 27 more slated to be added. These are just a few of the conservation methods the McEndrees have utilized, and to ensure their methods were technically sound, they enlisted a little help along the way. They partnered with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, as well as the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
I think our experience within RFCS has been working on this, has been really good.
It's been very positive, and I think a lot of that is due to Steve. He works hard to cooperate with them and to learn from them and to share what he has learned with others. And the number of workshops that NRCS has facilitated out here using this land, so we're sharing so others in the community also learn.
In addition to traditional ranching techniques, the McEndrees have diversified the use of their property, again pointing to their resilience. One of their most recent ventures was the lease of a portion of their land for the installation of wind turbines.
The wind turbines belong to Iberdrola Wind Energy. They come in 2005 and leased the ground, and then in the fall of 2006 started building. It's been a friendlier situation than I thought it might be. The next steps in the future will be more fences, breaking the pastures up smaller, putting us down to about a 3-day rotation on them, where they'll be on 3 days a year or longer, and making it so the land has more rest.
So what about the ranch's future?
It's just really important to us. This is where I grew up. This is my home. So it's very important to maintain the land so that it's sustainable, so the operation is sustainable, so that there's a future here. The Leopold Award, being awarded that as a family, means a lot because I think it recognizes what we have done as a family.
The award to me shows that we've been doing a good job on the land, as well as being involved in the community.
We're working together as a group, as a family. We want everybody to see what we are doing, and it's just nice to be able to do it as a community and as a family all together.